Hey you guys, I'm here today and I want to talk to you about embracing sadness. And before I get started, I want to cleanse our space really quickly. This is a rose quartz incense, and as you know, rose quartz has the property of love, self-love, and love of others. And that's why I chose the rose quartz. And this video is just going to be me chatting a bit with you guys about the theme, which is embracing sadness. But I'm going to do so by sharing with you a bit of a personal experience that I just had, and this has opened my eyes to help me realize that as witches, as pagans, we are children of the goddess. So therefore, we are built different than most. And due to that, we have to embrace all of our emotions. And the reason I say this is because we are witches, pagans, you know, we have to embrace every part. We have to embrace the light, the dark. We have to embrace love, hate. Everything we have to embrace, because it takes embracing each side of us, each part of life, to create that whole. And just with sadness, even though it's something we may not want to embrace, we may not want to experience it, it is something that we have to embrace. It is a part of life. And, you know, life comes full circle. And that is why I want to share this little bit of a life experience with you guys. Recently, I planned a trip. And this trip was going to be the trip of a lifetime. This trip was going to be a new beginning, if you will. And I worked so very hard to save money, to prepare for this trip. I thought I had all my I's dotted and my T's crossed. And I set out on this trip. And from the very beginning, I was nervous because, like I said, this was a life-changing experience for me. This was my new beginning. And from the start, you know, nothing went right from the very beginning. But I wrote it out because, you know, I wanted this to work. And this is what I had been striving for, what I had been working for. And to make a long story short, I didn't reach my final destination. And by not reaching my final destination, it was literally heartbreaking for me. And after this, I had to turn around and come back here. And in doing so, I sunk into a depression. I didn't want to eat. I couldn't sleep. I was just miserable, sad, heartbroken. And during the day, I laid in the bed. I felt like giving up. And I basically was to that point. And a friend of mine reminded me that, you know, we can't give up because that's not in our nature. You know, we have to keep going. Even though things go bad and, you know, we get emotional, and us being human, we feel like we should give up. That is not in our nature because we are children of the goddess. She did not create us to give up. She created us to take these things that happen in life and to learn from them. These mistakes, these things that happen, you know, we're supposed to, you know, learn from them. These aren't supposed to be mistakes. These aren't supposed to be, you know, bad luck or anything of that. These are supposed to be lessons. And the only way to grow, the only way to evolve is to experience these lessons, these life lessons. So, with that being said, you know, I dried my little eyes and I got up and I dusted myself off and I called out to the goddess and I asked her, you know, to please show me the way. Show me what it is that I'm supposed to learn from this. And as you know, the goddess doesn't come knocking right away. She does everything in her own time. And, you know, I'm still at that point. I'm still waiting for my answer, for my clear vision to come in. But as I wait, you know, I'm seeing other things. I'm learning. And just like these stones that I brought today, this amethyst, it's a heart-shaped twin flame amethyst. And this piece of raw moonstone. And this rose quartz point, double point. Just like these stones, for me, these stones may give me a certain type of energy. For me, the moonstone gives me a goddess type energy. It helps me to embrace my female energy. But for you, it may give you a different type of energy. But the thing is, you don't know until you pick that stone up and you work with it. And not just one time, but several times, many times. And that's just like with life. You know, just because one time we do something and it doesn't turn out the way we wanted, the way we expected, we can't just give up and say, oh, well, you know, that's not what I'm supposed to do. That's not the way it works. The goddess wants us to keep trying. She wants us to do this because in order to evolve, we have to learn. And to learn, we have to experience these lessons. Just like my trip, this, you know, life-changing trip, this new beginning for me, it just did not go as planned. I got halfway to my destination, and it just fell through. And I was devastated, and I cried, and I'm still crying. You know, I may not physically be crying right now, but I am crying on the inside. And each day I do physically cry. But that is the human aspect of me, and I'm going to continue to cry, and it's okay to cry, because as you know, when we cry, when we physically shed tears, we are emotionally and spiritually cleansing. We are cleansing our physical being, and we are cleansing our spiritual being and our emotional being. So it is okay to cry. If you have to cry every single day, do so. Never hold back, never bottle it up, because that is not the way the goddess intended. We're supposed to take it as it comes, and when something doesn't go accordingly, there's a lesson to be learned. I promise you, there's a lesson to be learned. So, with that being said, just like with my trip that fell through and I felt like giving up and I've been crying day after day, just like with me, and the same will be for you. When things don't go the way you planned, when things hurt, when things get you down, when you become depressed, you're unhappy, you're sad, it is okay. That's just another aspect of life, and in that sadness or in that anger or whatever emotion that you are experiencing, there is a lesson. And all we have to do is just take a breath and to look very, very deep, and the goddess will reveal to us in her own time what that lesson is. And in that lesson, we will try again. And the next time, we'll know what not to do, what we need to do, and how it should be done. And just like with my experience, the same is for you, no matter how big or small it may be. When something doesn't go the way you planned, don't give up. Don't just, wash your hands of it, so to say. Keep moving forward. And remember, if you get mad and you want to scream, scream. If you get sad and you're heartbroken and nothing to do but cry, cry. No matter what emotion you're feeling, embrace that emotion. And instead of letting it be a negative thing, draw power from it. Pull that energy and, shape it, mold it into something positive. Draw strength from it. Draw wisdom from it. And if you feel like you just don't know what to do or how to do it, call to the goddess. I promise you, she loves you and she's there for you, and she will reveal to you what it is you need to do. So, with that being said, as I always tell you guys, if you believe, you will receive. And just don't give up. Keep pushing forward and, take everything as it comes. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to scream, scream. If you need to laugh, laugh. And just remember, that's just a part of embracing the balance. That is the way we are made. That is the way that God is intended for us to learn and to evolve. And as always, much love, you guys. Bye-bye.